What's up, guys? Kyle here with No Tie Required. All right, we're talking Etsy today. And what do we do if you are getting people to your Etsy listing, but it's not converting to sales? Let's talk about it. Let's go. All right, guys. Yes. So before we jump into this awesome video about Etsy, make sure to hit that like button. Don't just hit it. Smash that like button for us. Smash that like button. Let us know that you enjoy what we're talking about because we have a lot of great content planned for you guys moving forward from this as well. So with that being said, also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those notifications so that you get notified every time that we drop a brand new video. That being said, let's jump into it. Let's talk Etsy. And we're going to share our screen just a little bit here in a few minutes, but we're also going to just talk to you guys one-on-one in the camera. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes that's what we need to do, right? So let's jump right into it. So what do we do if we are getting people to our listing, but we're just not converting those to sales? Okay, so our SEO is probably fine because we're getting people on our listing, but ultimately it's not converting to sales. It's not getting purchases on it. What do we do? Well, there's a lot of different things that could be, okay? And here's what you need to think of first. Before you do anything else, you need to think of Etsy as one of the world's largest shopping malls. You know, I use the same analogy with Amazon quite a bit because it's basically the same idea. It's one of the world's largest shopping malls, okay? And our storefront on there is just like a storefront in a shopping mall, okay? Our products are in there, all that type of stuff. But what our salespeople are in terms of on Etsy is our listing, okay? Our pictures and our listing content. That's our salespeople. Okay. We can't physically talk to the customer. Okay. They can't touch it, see it, feel it. They have to go based on how good of a quality listing that we have. Okay. We can have the best SEO going, but you know what? Maybe we just don't do a good enough job portraying what the product is or why they should buy ours compared to the hundreds of other options that there might be out there. So I want to break this down and we're going to go step by step, different things that you can do. So first and foremost, I want to jump into my screen real quick and we're going to talk about identifying where your traffic is coming from. So let's do that real quick just to give you an idea. How do we decipher where is our traffic actually coming from? All right, guys, perfect. So we're going to go through how to find where those buyers are coming from, okay, or those potential buyers. Obviously, we're not closing them the way that we want to, but we need to get an idea where they're coming from. This is our test account right here that we use to teach from. So there's not going to be a ton of data in here, but we're just going to go with it here. So basically, what you want to do, this is inside your shop manager. So you want to make sure you're inside your shop manager. Just go right over here to stats. All right, and that's going to pull that up for us right here. So we're looking at this month right here. So we've had 12 visits. It at least should be able to give us an idea where this stuff is coming from. Okay, so basically direct and other traffic, it's showing actually a big percentage of ours is coming from right here right now. But you can see social media, Etsy ads, Etsy marketing, Etsy search, Etsy app, okay? And then you can actually click in there and it's going to give you an idea the days of when those are happening and everything. And then, like I said, where that actually is coming from and everything. So it's pretty cool. They can give you a lot of detailed stuff, and then they'll start giving you search terms and breakdowns and stuff like that as you get more and more of that stuff. So that gives you an idea, guys, where to find those stats at. Typically, especially when you're first starting out, most of your traffic is going to come from Etsy themselves, whether it's direct traffic from them or if it is, like I said, Etsy basically driving the traffic there, people searching for it. So most of your data is going to be based on that, which makes it easier to base everything that we're doing around our competition, which was what we are going to basically talk about with all this. So let's jump back out of this and let's keep going. All right, perfect. So we've deciphered where that's coming from, and chances are, especially when you're first starting out, maybe not, but most people are going to get most of their traffic from Etsy itself, okay? Again, if we have solid SEO and it's had a little bit of time in the algorithm, Etsy's going to know how to showcase that to the right people to get the right people to our listing. So typically, you need to look at Etsy as a search engine, okay? People are on there looking for keywords, for search terms, okay? So Etsy is going to match that up with different products based on the keywords we have in there, the tags we put in, stuff like that. So a lot of times it's not necessarily Etsy's fault that, we can't say, oh, it's bad customers that we're getting to our page, that's why it's not converting. Well, is it possible? Sure. But more likely than not, it's probably something to do with our listing. So we need to look at a few different things. And I'm going to just kind of take a peek here at my notes because I want to make sure I don't leave anything out for you guys. Okay. I wrote all this stuff down. I want to make sure that we hit all the key points on this. So first and foremost, I would recommend checking out your competition. Okay, and a lot of this is going to revolve around checking our competition. Once we've identified where that traffic is coming from, most likely Etsy to begin with, check out our competition and figure out what are they doing. Okay, what do their pictures look like? What are their price points like? Do they have different variations? Any of that type of stuff. And I think that is super relevant because look, at the end of the day, we have to stack up well against our competition. We can't expect just to take a crappy photo, put it up there, and it's going to convert. No, it has to look the part, guys. This isn't 5 years ago. This isn't 10 years ago. The good old days when you could throw something up there and it was going to sell because hey, it's Amazon or hey, it's Etsy in this case. It doesn't happen anymore. We have to look the part. Okay. Other things, pricing. We can't be overpriced. Okay, we can't expect to be $10 more expensive than somebody else unless we have verifiable reasoning why we should be 10% or $10 higher. If you have a unique differentiator that truly adds value, then that makes sense. Okay. And by truly adding value, I mean, we're not just differentiating for the sake of making it different. We're differentiating to provide that customer additional value so that they are willing to pay a little bit more because they can see that we are actually giving them something that is of more value to them than the previous option. Okay. So absolutely make sure that your pricing is in line. Okay. Something else that you can do, pricing can have a major impact just by having a little subtle change in your pricing. Okay. Whether that be maybe offering a coupon, whether that be maybe changing the ending of the price point. So, most people go instead of $25, they put it at $24.99. Why be the same as everybody else? Why not make it $24.97 or $24.95? Again, it's that psychological impact that has on the customer, where it's literally just a shade off, but in their mind they're getting a discount still. Okay, or like I said, maybe offer some sort of a discount just to entice them maybe a little bit more that they should be buying from you instead of somebody else. Couple other things that I want to note on this, and then we are going to dive into the screen on one of these as well. But one would be variations. Okay, variations on the product, giving the customer more choices. If we come in and we only have one choice that we're offering them, but somebody else, let's say you're selling a picture frame, okay? You have one size, one, color, finish, whatever you want to call it, option. Everybody else has 10. Well, most customers are probably going to go to the other ones because guess what? They have a lot more to choose from, and maybe they want to buy more than one size. Maybe they want a few different sizes, and it's much more convenient, much easier to buy it all from one location at the same time. Okay. The other part of it is shipping. Okay. Because we are doing our own shipping on this. You need to make sure that your shipping times match up with your competition. So a lot of what happens, guys, is you have to compare yourself to your competition. Do we stack up? Because if we don't, we're not going to get sales. We could drive all the traffic in the world to our page. Etsy could drive all the traffic in the world to our page. But if we can't stack up to our main competition, it's not going to work. Okay. So make sure that your shipping lead times are competitive with what everybody else is doing. Okay. And that's a hard lesson for a lot of people to learn sometimes, but hey, in today's day and age, guys, we live in an Amazon driven world. Okay. People expect the 2-day shipping, maybe not right now because, given what's going on in the world and everything and how messed up shipping has been. But in a normal time frame and everything, we live in an Amazon world and people expect that 2-day shipping. Okay. One other thing that you may want to consider too is offering free shipping. The other part of that, and guys, we'll make other videos specifically on each one of these, but free shipping has a huge, huge, huge impact. And I've split tested this on my Etsy listings, on my Jane.com listings, all these different websites where you are the one shipping it, and on my Shopify site. And I'm telling you, free shipping always wins out. Always. I've never had a listing where I was charging shipping for. And look, I could charge less money for the product and then charge shipping. I would not convert as well as maybe a higher price point on the product with free shipping. So instead of saying, okay, it's $24.99 plus $5 shipping, I could charge at least $29 plus free shipping. So the exact same amount. The product itself is more expensive, but it's the exact same amount. That one right there is always going to convert better because people expect free shipping at this point. Okay. Again, we live in an Amazon world. Most people are Prime members. The expectation is free shipping. Okay. One last thing I want to talk about when it comes to your title of your product, okay, of your listing, because look, the two most important things, guys, the absolute two most important things on your listing, your photo and your title. I want to talk about your title. We already talked about the photo. Here's another tip for your photo. The trend is your friend, guys. We've talked about this a few different times, but seriously, the trend is your friend. Depending on what stage you're going into when it comes to your photo, if we're going into the springtime like we are right now, brighten those photos up, make them nice and bright and vibrant with, bright colors, put people in the mood for spring. Okay, that's how our minds work. Okay, so if we're going into fall, make it more of a fall theme. Okay. I mean, it's simple stuff with that, but it's highly, highly effective. It's a lot of it is that consumer psychology where we get into their mindset and we make it as attractive to them as we can based on the time of the year that we're at. So last part, I want to talk about title, but for that, we're going to jump into my screen real quick and do it on there. Let's go. All right, guys, so last thing real quick I want to talk about right here is title. Okay, we talked about how picture is super important with a product, but also title. So let's just go down through here, and we're just going to use Gold Picture Frame. It's a product I use a lot, for examples and everything. But what do you notice on this that a majority of these sellers are not doing? Okay, and this could be a way to set yourself apart. Okay, what are they not doing? None of them really have a size on there. I mean, this one right here has a size on there. This one just says XL. It doesn't really give a specific size. But I mean, you look at the top of Gold Picture Frame, which is probably a large keyword. There's not a lot of people giving sizing or anything like that on there. That's an option right there that could be something to set you apart. So if you are somebody that has maybe a larger sized product and it's going to be a little more expensive, put the size of it in the beginning of it. So you can see on this one as we scroll on it, they do have the size in this, but it's far enough back on the description that it's hard for the customer to see that. Okay, so maybe trying to put the size in the front of the title if possible, if you believe it's going to make it more relevant. If you're selling something that's a little more expensive, like on a Gold Picture Frame, if you're selling one that is going to cost the customer more, like this person right here at $55, yes, they have XL in there, but maybe even put like a size in there to give people a real idea of how much bigger that is so that they can justify the higher price. Same idea if you're doing something smaller. This person right here, yes, you can tell in the picture that it's a really small frame, but how small? For $299, a lot of people might look at that and be like, I don't know, that's pretty cheap, and they might pass right over it and decide not to do it. Even like this one right here, there's no size in the beginning of it, and they do give it later on, and they show you that actually it looks like they have a few different sizes that you can get. But at $14.58, again, that's by far the cheapest one other than this one right here. So some people may be like, hey, I can get this for under $15, and obviously it's a bestseller, so a lot of people are looking that way. But also some people may not be purchasing that product because it's that cheaper price point, and they assimilate that with maybe being poor quality compared to maybe it's just a smaller frame, and that's the reason. So guys, that's all I've got for this video right here. Hopefully that helps. Take these hints, hacks, tips, whatever you want to call them, utilize them for your own business. And with that being said, guys, we'll see you in the next one.